Across the United States, housing markets are shifting in ways few could have predicted. Entire states that once seemed booming are now on the edge of collapse. In 2025, experts warn that home values in several regions may plummet, leaving families trapped with properties worth far less than what they paid. But what's driving this sudden downturn? Is it the economy, changing migration patterns, or something even bigger? In this video, we're diving into the top 10 states where housing prices are set to crash, and the reasons why these once thriving markets may soon become America's biggest real estate disasters. Number 1. Phoenix finds itself on the edge of a housing collapse that could shock the nation. Why? For one, the city has been building homes faster than demand can keep up. Entire neighborhoods remain half-occupied, with for sale signs lingering far longer than before. Oversupply is driving prices downward, and with higher mortgage rates squeezing buyers, demand is evaporating. The result? Homes that once sold in days now sit for months, and sellers are slashing prices to compete. Phoenix also faces a unique challenge: extreme desert climate. Summers here often hit 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius or more. And as global temperatures rise, living comfortably in Phoenix grows more expensive. Air conditioning bills skyrocket, water shortages loom, and many families are reconsidering whether life in the desert is sustainable long-term. The city's economy is another fragile factor. While Phoenix boasts growth in tech and finance, its job market isn't diverse enough to shield it from national downturns. Rising costs of living push families away, and fewer new residents mean slower demand for housing, a sharp reversal from the past decade. Still, Phoenix isn't without its appeal. It offers endless sunshine, golf courses, and natural beauty like Camelback Mountain and the Sonoran Desert. Retirees and remote workers still find it attractive, but for many younger families, the combination of oversupply, brutal summers, and dropping home values makes Phoenix less of a dream and more of a risk. In 2025, it stands as one of the top cities where housing prices are poised to collapse. Number 2. Lake Charles. Louisiana. Lake Charles, a small city in southwestern Louisiana, is no stranger to hardship. Once celebrated for its oil refineries, casinos, and Gulf Coast culture, this city has been repeatedly battered by hurricanes and economic instability. In 2020, been slow. Many residents simply never returned, leaving behind abandoned properties, empty neighborhoods, and declining tax bases. Those who stayed are now facing a new wave of problems: home values that refuse to rise and, in many cases, continue to fall. Unemployment in Lake Charles is among the highest in Louisiana, hovering around 8% in 2025, well above the national average. Without strong job growth, there are fewer buyers able to afford homes, and many families who once worked in energy or hospitality have been forced to relocate. The city's housing inventory has grown by more than 12% in the past year, creating oversupply at a time when demand is shrinking. That imbalance pushes prices further down. The cost of living may be affordable compared to national standards, but affordability doesn't matter when wages are low and opportunities are scarce. For younger generations, Lake Charles holds little promise, which explains why so many are leaving for Houston, Dallas, or Baton Rouge. Still, the city has its charm: Creole culture, Cajun cuisine, and a slower pace of life. But in 2025, those cultural draws aren't enough to stabilize the market. Lake Charles stands at the crossroads of climate vulnerability and economic decline, making it one of America's riskiest housing markets today. Phoenix also faces a unique challenge: at extreme desert climate. Summers here often hit 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius or more. And as global temperatures rise, living comfortably in Phoenix grows more expensive. Air conditioning bills skyrocket, water shortages loom, and many families are reconsidering whether life in the desert is sustainable long-term. the city's economy is another fragile factor. While Phoenix boasts growth in tech and finance, its job market isn't diverse enough to shield it from national downturns. Rising costs of living push families away, and fewer new residents mean slower demand for housing, a sharp reversal from the past decade. Still, Phoenix isn't without its appeal. It offers endless sunshine, golf courses, and natural beauty like Camelback Mountain and the Sonoran Desert. Retirees and remote workers still find it attractive. But for many younger families, the combination of oversupply, brutal summers, and dropping home values makes Phoenix less of a dream and more of a risk. In 2025, it stands as one of the top cities where housing prices are poised to collapse. Number 3, Provo. Utah. Provo, a city tucked into the Utah Valley, has long been known for its stunning mountain views, family-friendly atmosphere, and close ties to Brigham Young University. For years, it seemed like an affordable alternative to Salt Lake City, attracting students, young professionals, and families looking for safe communities and scenic beauty. But in 2025, Provo finds itself on a list no city wants to be on, those at the highest risk of a housing market crash. According to CoreLogic, Provo is one of just 5 U.S. cities flagged for severe housing instability. The reasons are clear. In the past decade, housing prices here skyrocketed far faster than wages. A modest home that cost $250,000 in 2015 might now be valued at nearly $600,000. For many local families, that price tag is completely out of reach. Combine that with rising mortgage interest rates, and the buyer pool has dried up almost overnight. Oversupply is another factor. Developers rushed to build condos and suburban homes during the city's population boom, but demand has slowed significantly. Many units sit unsold, while rental vacancies are climbing. Landlords who once charged premium rents now struggle to keep tenants. This imbalance between supply and demand is a warning sign of a price correction, one that could be steep. Provo's economy also leans heavily on education, tech startups, and tourism. While the tech industry provided strong growth in recent years, layoffs in 2024 shook confidence and left many residents questioning their financial stability. Without steady, high-paying jobs, fewer families are willing or able to commit to expensive mortgages. Of course, Provo still has its undeniable beauty, with the Wasatch Mountains and Utah Lake nearby. It remains a safe, close-knit community. But in 2025, its housing market shows all the classic symptoms of a bubble ready to burst, making it one of the riskiest places to buy a home in America today. Number 4, Tucson. Arizona. Tucson, nestled in the Sonoran Desert, has always carried a unique charm. With its mix of Native American, Mexican, and Spanish influences, the city is rich in culture, history, and desert beauty. For years, it attracted retirees, snowbirds, and students from the University of Arizona. But in 2025, Tucson is not just a desert oasis, also one of the cities most at risk of a housing price collapse. Why is Tucson's housing market so vulnerable? One major factor is affordability, or rather, the lack of it. Tucson was once considered one of Arizona's more affordable metro areas compared to Phoenix. But during the pandemic-era boom, prices surged by nearly 50%. Homes that were selling for under $200,000 a decade ago are now well over $350,000. Pair that with high interest rates, and suddenly, a city known for budget-friendly living is out of reach for many residents. At the same time, Tucson struggles with low income levels compared to national averages. The median household income hovers around $60,000, far below what's needed to comfortably purchase a median-priced home. This mismatch between wages and housing costs means fewer qualified buyers, more stagnant listings, and downward pressure on prices. Climate challenges add another layer of risk. Tucson regularly records summer temperatures of 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, or higher. The cost of cooling homes has become a financial burden for many families. On top of that, ongoing concerns about water scarcity in the Southwest raise long-term questions about the city's sustainability and growth. Tucson still offers plenty: rich cultural festivals, proximity to Mexico, and striking desert landscapes. But in 2025, these positives are overshadowed by economic stress, overpriced housing, and harsh living conditions. For many experts, Tucson has become a textbook case of a housing market bubble ready to burst. Number 5 * Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque, the largest city in New Mexico, is a place where desert beauty meets southwestern culture. Known for its hot air balloon festival, adobe architecture, and vibrant art scene, it has always drawn visitors and retirees alike. But in 2025, Albuquerque finds itself on the list of U.S. cities most at risk for a housing downturn. Over the past decade, Albuquerque saw rapid price increases driven by newcomers fleeing higher costs in California, Texas, and Colorado. Homes, once sold for $180,000, now easily list above $350,000, but wage growth in the city hasn't kept up. The median household income is below $60,000, making homeownership a financial stretch for many locals. As mortgage rates climbed, demand quickly dried up, leaving sellers in a bind. Another challenge is Albuquerque's job market. While the city has some presence in film production, government labs, and healthcare, it lacks a wide range of industries. Many young professionals leave for larger cities with better opportunities. That outflow puts pressure on housing demand, leading to more stagnant sales and falling prices. Crime and poverty rates also factor into Albuquerque's struggles. Families weighing relocation often see the city's high crime rate as a deterrent, further limiting population growth. Add to this the extreme desert climate, with scorching summers and water supply concerns, and the long-term appeal begins to fade. Of course, Albuquerque still has its charms: breathtaking sunsets, rich cultural traditions, and affordable costs compared to many coastal cities. But the housing market here is clearly cooling, and experts warn it could face some of the steepest declines in the Southwest. In 2025, Albuquerque is a city where homeowners may soon watch values tumble faster than anyone expected. Number 6 * West Palm Beach, Florida. West Palm Beach, often pictured as a paradise of palm trees, beaches, and endless sunshine, is facing storm clouds in 2025, not from the weather, but from its housing market. Known for attracting retirees, snowbirds, and wealthy buyers, West Palm Beach has long been one of Florida's hottest real estate markets. But this year, experts are signaling that its boom may be turning into a bust. The first issue is affordability. During the pandemic, Florida became one of the top destinations for people fleeing expensive states like New York and California. Home prices in West Palm Beach soared by more than 60% in just a few years. By 2025, the median home price sits near $500,000, far out of reach for many local families whose household incomes average under $70,000. The result? Fewer buyers and a growing number of unsold listings. Insurance is another major factor. Florida's property insurance crisis has driven premiums to record highs, with some homeowners paying $10,000 or more per year just to insure their properties against hurricanes and flooding. For many, that cost alone makes ownership unsustainable, leading to distressed sales and falling values. While the city still enjoys a booming tourism industry, retirees and second home buyers are becoming cautious. Rising living costs, higher interest rates, and fears of climate change are cooling demand. Neighborhoods that once sold out overnight now sit half empty, with price cuts becoming increasingly common. West Palm Beach remains beautiful, with luxury, shopping, cultural attractions, and stunning beaches. But beneath the palm trees lies a fragile market built on inflated values and high risks. In 2025, it's not hard to see why experts warn this Florida paradise could soon become a housing nightmare. Number 7. Dallas. Texas. Dallas, one of America's fastest-growing metros, has long been a symbol of opportunity. Its mix of southern charm, big business, and booming suburbs made it a magnet for families, tech companies, and corporate headquarters. But in 2025, Dallas finds itself at a crossroads as its housing market shows troubling signs of collapse. Over the past decade, Dallas housing prices skyrocketed as people from California and New York flocked to Texas for cheaper living and no state income tax. But the flood of newcomers drove prices higher than many locals could ever afford. Today, the median home price in Dallas hovers near $400,000, far higher than the city's average wage growth can sustain. The result? A growing affordability crisis. Teachers, nurses, and service workers are being priced out, leaving many unable to buy or even rent comfortably. Housing inventory is piling up, and sellers are being forced to slash prices just to attract offers. Dallas also suffers from overbuilding. Entire suburban neighborhoods sprang up to meet the demand of the 2020s boom, but demand has slowed sharply. With mortgage rates rising, fewer buyers are entering the market, leaving oversupply in the system. The city's economy is strong, with finance, tech, and energy all represented. But as companies cut back on hiring or shift to remote work, the endless population inflows that once fueled housing growth are stalling. Dallas remains a cultural hub with sports, nightlife, and career opportunities. But in 2025, it faces a harsh truth. What goes up must come down. Its housing market is bloated, overpriced, and primed for a correction that could leave many homeowners underwater. Number 8. Miami. Florida. Miami, the glittering jewel of South Florida, has long been a playground for the rich, a hub for Latin American culture, and a global real estate hotspot. From luxury condos on the beach to sprawling suburban developments, the city seemed unstoppable. But in 2025, Miami is facing a dangerous reality. Its housing market may be on the verge of a crash. One major factor is speculative buying. For years, investors from overseas treated Miami real estate like a safe haven, pouring money into condos that often sat vacant. This artificial demand pushed prices far beyond what local incomes could support. Today, the median home price in Miami is around $560,000, while the median household income is less than $70,000. That mismatch is unsustainable. Climate change adds another risk. Miami is ground zero for rising sea levels and flooding. Insurance premiums are soaring, and some companies are pulling out of Florida altogether. For homeowners, this means paying thousands more just to keep a property insured, cutting into affordability and driving some to sell. The city's economy, while strong in tourism, finance, and trade, relies heavily on global markets. Any downturn hits Miami harder than most, with fewer international buyers stepping in and locals priced out. Demand has stalled, leaving many sellers slashing prices. Miami still dazzles with its nightlife, beaches, and multicultural energy. But beneath the surface, the cracks in its housing market are widening. For many experts, Miami is not just at risk of a small correction, it may face one of the sharpest housing crashes in the entire country. Number 9. Nashville. Tennessee. Nashville, often called Music City, has transformed from a regional hub into one of America's hottest destinations. Fueled by its booming entertainment scene, rapid population growth, and influx of tech and healthcare companies, Nashville became a real estate darling. But in 2025, that success story is showing signs of unraveling. Home prices in Nashville have doubled in the past decade, with the median now near $450,000, while the city attracted newcomers seeking culture and opportunity. Another issue: Developers rush to meet demand with high-rise condos and sprawling subdivisions. But demand has cooled significantly in the past year. Listings are rising, and price cuts are becoming the norm. Investors who once flocked to Nashville for Airbnb opportunities are now exiting as new regulations and oversaturation hurt profits. The city still thrives in music, tourism, and healthcare, but its infrastructure has struggled to keep up with rapid growth. Traffic congestion, rising taxes, and a higher cost of living are eroding its appeal. For many longtime residents, Nashville no longer feels like the affordable, welcoming city it once was. Nashville still offers unmatched culture, world-famous music venues, and Southern charm. But in 2025, the housing market tells a different story: inflated, unstable, and likely heading for a correction. For homeowners, the dream of Music City may soon turn into financial blues. Number 10, Denver. Colorado Denver, known as the Mile High City, has been one of America's fastest-growing urban areas in recent years. Surrounded by the Rocky Mountains, it's long been celebrated for its outdoor lifestyle, booming tech scene, and young, educated population. But in 2025, Denver's housing market is teetering on the edge. During the pandemic boom, Denver home prices soared by more than 40%, pushing the median price to around $600,000. That kind of growth was unsustainable, especially in a city where average household incomes hovered just above $80,000. As interest rates rose, affordability collapsed, leaving fewer qualified buyers. Developers, eager to cash in, built aggressively across the metro area. Now, many of those units sit vacant or overpriced. Oversupply in some neighborhoods is driving down prices. While competition among sellers has intensified, Denver's job market remains strong in sectors like tech, aerospace, and renewable energy. But layoffs in tech during 2024 shook confidence. Combined with high inflation and living costs, fewer people are moving in, slowing the population growth that once fueled its housing demand. Another factor is lifestyle. Denver once attracted remote workers and young professionals looking for a balance of city life and outdoor adventure. But rising home prices, traffic congestion, and higher taxes have cooled that enthusiasm. Even lifelong residents are questioning whether the Mile High City is worth the cost. Denver still has breathtaking views, endless hiking trails, and a vibrant culture. But in 2025, its housing market is a bubble stretched too thin. For many experts, it's not a question of if prices will fall, but how far they'll drop when the correction finally comes.